Well, hello everyone, Squirrel here. It's been a little while since I made a video, so I thought I'd put one together for you just to give you an update on what's going on in my life, and also to run through a few things that's happened since I made my last video, which of course was the Has Dice Dropped the Ball video. So, firstly I'd just like to say I'm in a squad, or rather I'm on Oshi's server, OshiSeven, he's actually on the other team, and him, Sacriel, who's in my squad, and the mighty Atan, all these guys, they're all YouTubers, got their own YouTube channel. I'll leave links in the description. Many thanks to Sacriel and Oshi for, well, playing with us basically. So we've got a few squirrel guys in here, we've joined their server, and yeah, we thought we'd have a fun sort of Sunday evening shooting things up. Sometimes we're on the same team, sometimes we're on opposite teams. Had a great laugh. Go and check out their channels, they've got some nice videos as well. So yeah, all the teams are actually, we've got squirrels on both teams as well, and then a whole lot of public peoples. It's a public server, you're welcome to play on it of course. Yeah, go and check them out. Now then, so shortly after I made my video, Has Dice Dropped the Ball, which I'm sure you've all seen. Shortly after that, I think it was actually the day after that, DICE published a huge list of fixes and tweaks that they are working on. It's not a definitive list, it may be altered before released, but having spent, you know, weeks if not months living in a blackout, it was a massive turnaround. And DICE, you know, for DICE to release that list so quickly implies that they had that list all prepared anyway, doesn't it? But, you know, obviously a few people have commented on it. We had the Battlefield blackout movement. We've got people like me who, you know, made videos of it, and I know for a fact, looking at the demographics of my video, that at least 170 views came straight out of Sweden. Now that doesn't mean to say that any were from DICE, but some could have been from DICE. And I think what we've done here is you know, get DICE to publish that list, and to start coming out and making promises about a bit more transparency and letting us know what they're doing with this game that we all love. I consider that to be a rather great victory for us, for the Battlefield community, and also I tip my hat to DICE for responding, for listening, and for doing something about it. I hope that continues with DICE. I hope they really do push the Battlefield community along. We all love the game. We want to carry on playing it, of course. We just want some issues fixed, and we want some more kind of feedback about what they're working on and what they're doing to the game. That's all we're really asking for. That's all we were ever asking for. But I'm glad to say that DICE is, at least in part, started to deliver on that. So, well done DICE, and well done Battlefield community, I say. Right, so apart from that, just looking down the sort of Battlefield log fix list, and as I say, it's not a definitive list, but I thought I'd sort of go through some of the changes they're proposing, or the fixes they're making, and I've kind of broken things down into the things that I like, the things that I'm a bit skeptical about, the things that I don't like, and some of the changes that I wanted to see. And then I'll sort of wrap it all up with some news about, you know, myself and what's going on. So let's start off, changes that I like. So they're going to sort out the fall damage. That's the first thing. As you know, if you jump off small buildings, your parachute doesn't deploy, and not only that, you seem to be able to jump. It's quite random the way fall damage seems to work at the moment. Sometimes you can just drop off. I mean, I've been on Seine Crossing and literally dropped, you know, the height of steps, you know, just jumped down into the bushes and died from 100% health. And yet other times I've jumped off rocks in Caspian border. Feels like a lot farther distance and not died. So anyway, they're sorting out the fall damage, so hopefully we'll get a bit more consistency out of that. Getting up from prone is being improved. They're increasing the speed of that, which is an absolute godsend. I mean, the number of times I've been, you know, prone, capturing a flag, whatever, grenades flown in. And I don't know about you, but if somebody threw a grenade next to me, I don't care what I'm doing, I'd get up pretty damn fast. And it's really tedious watching your soldier just kind of, let me just get up off the floor here, you know. Bloody hell, mate, there's a grenade though, you know, get a move on. So, yeah, they're fixing that. They're going to get up faster, which is great. I don't see anything bad about that. There's nothing imbalanced in that. The spawning's being changed. They're reducing the black screen, the fade in. Sorry, the fade up. They're only reducing it. They're not getting rid of it completely. They've said that they need to keep it because as you're spawning in, it's streaming content. The Frostbite 2 engine is, as you may or may not know, streams textures and data directly. It's a very optimized engine. And they still need to provide that blackout to give the engine time to stream in. But they are reducing the blackout, or the black in, whichever way you put it, the fade in. They're reducing that, which is great, because I absolutely hate the way that works at the moment. You know, you spawn into blackness and you don't know which way you're facing, you don't know where you are half the time. It's utterly horrible, and to top all that off, the so-called spawn immunity doesn't work properly on some platforms, and on others it's only about excuse me, it's only about a second. So anyway, they're sorting that out. We're having a faster parachute response. Again, nothing bad about that. The unguarded tank shell is going to be a one-hit kill against helicopters and jets, as it should be. I mean, the idea of you know, a huge bloody shell coming out of a tank gun hitting the side of a helicopter or a jet and it not just taking the whole thing out, it didn't make any sense really. So I'm glad they're doing that. Interesting that they are reducing the repair speed of the repair tool and increasing the speed at which it does damage to enemy vehicles. That's an interesting tweak. I kind of welcome that. I think the repair tool does work a bit too quickly. I think repair should be kind of the situation where, you know, after a firefight you get out and the victor gets to repair his vehicle, or you get to a safe place and repair your vehicle. At the moment it can be a bit of a farce because, you know, an engineer will jump out the back and it can pretty much heal through incoming damage, which leads to some pretty tedious tank-on-tank fights. So hopefully that's why they've done that, to kind of make things move along a bit more sensibly. They've fixed the lock jumping. You know, you sort of point to, say, a Stinger or an Igla. If you point that at a vehicle, sorry, if you point that at a jet or a helicopter and another one passes in front of your field of vision, the lock that you almost had on one vehicle then jumps to another and starts again, and then maybe even jumps back, which is deeply, deeply annoying. They've fixed that, so I welcome that. Flares will more reliably distract missiles. Again, that's a godsend, because the number of times I've dropped flares and still been hit anyway. Now this, you know, this can happen when a missile is coming at you and you distract it with flares. It doesn't necessarily make the missile miss. If the missile is already on course for you and, you know, it's travelling quite quickly and not too far away, if you drop flares it won't make any difference, because if you imagine this thing will just carry on in a straight line more or less and it'll still hit you. But I think what they're getting at there is that obviously there were some problems, there were some bugs when it wouldn't reliably distract the missile as it should and cause it to veer off course. So that's not a bad thing, that's a bug fix really, I say. They've reduced the helicopter gunner damage versus armour. Now this is an interesting one. In many respects it makes a lot of sense. If you imagine, if you remember when you played Battlefield in the early days and the scout helicopter would just do, the gun on it would just stupid amounts of damage against armour. And they balanced that so it was meant just for infantry, and against armour it's not very effective. It looks like they're going the same direction. What they seem to be saying here is the pilot will use obviously rockets and stuff to take out the land armour, and the gunner will be using his gun to take out infantry. And if he happens to have a TV missile, then he'll be able to do damage against armour. Otherwise, he pretty much won't be. He'll be gunning troops, which I kind of welcome that. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think the gunner is too powerful against armour. You know, you do a fly past, you hit a tank with rockets, the gunner finishes him off in one move, and the tank has absolutely no chance. So that's probably a good thing. They've fixed the TV missile while we're on the subject. A lot of times you deploy the TV missile and it would detonate the helicopter you're in, which is obviously a bug. The MAV, thankfully, can no longer be ridden, which is a welcome, and also it can no longer destroy vehicles. Again, that's a great thing. And from what I can read in the patch notes, it seems to be that they're stopping the whole MAV killing soldier thing by, if you use it to take out a soldier, then that destroys the MAV. That seems to be implied. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's how it reads to me. Now, there's been tons of weapon balancing. There's an absolute massive list of changes to the weapons. Some of them they've actually left alone, which is interesting. They consider the weapon to be perfect as it is. They've changes to things like the suppressor and the heavy barrel. It's all great stuff. Have a read through that. Looking forward to a lot of that. We should see a lot more variety, I think, in the game because of that. So I look forward to playing around with it. I think it'd be really interesting to see some good sort of combinations of attachments. USAS 12, everybody hates it apart from the pricks who use it. The USAS 12 and the MK3A1 have had their rate of fire reduced, which is interesting. Apparently with frag rounds, the rate of fire is supposed to be reduced on shotguns, but on those two it never was. Hence why the USAS 12 was overpowered. Not only that, but the USAS has now been given a higher recoil on its first shot, and the number of pellets has been reduced from 12 down to 9 on its actual shot. So that's a damage and an accuracy nerf on the USAS 12. Don't know if it goes far enough. Remains to be seen how it plays out, but I welcome any nerf to the USAS 12 frag, I certainly do. They've made it much easier to deploy mortars, MAV, tugs, SOFLAM, all this kind of stuff. You must have experienced this yourself. I have many times. You're trying to put some equipment on the floor, because it's not as flat as a snooker table, it just won't let you put it down. And also you put things down on like a rock, and then I've put SOFLAMs on a rock, and then it's just, as you deploy it, it tilts it 45 degrees. It's, what the hell's going on? So yeah, they've made that much easier and hopefully fixed those problems with it. C4 cannot be detonated after death. I thoroughly welcome that. That made absolutely no sense. However, mines, interestingly enough, will persist after death. So you put down your mines, you die, they stay where they are. It kind of contradicts what's going on with the C4, but I think in game terms it probably makes the most sense. The mines will be limited to having 6 down, so once you put your 7th down, the first one will be destroyed. So yeah, I think that's fine. Ammo bags from the support class, they stay until death or destroyed, which works the same as the medkit. Currently, when you put an ammo bag down, it sticks around for about, I think it's 6 or 7 reloads. It loads people up with ammo 6 or 7 times, something like that. What they're saying here is it'll work like the medkit. You drop it down, it stays there in kind of infinite supply mode. Probably a good idea. You can only have 1 down anyway, so it's not exactly overpowered. There's a reduced blast radius on RPGs and SMORs against infantry. That's never a bad thing. I mean, explosives against infantry are probably the single most rage-driven thing ever to hit any game, and I welcome any kind of nerf to that. Mortarists cannot be deployed outside of the play area. Again, thoroughly welcome that. That made no sense. So that's the end of my list of things I like. Things I'm skeptical about. Increased spawn protection time from 1 to 2 seconds. My question over that is, does that start after the fade-in, or does it start on fade-in? Because if you imagine fade-in takes a second, and the spawn protection takes 2 seconds, then by the time you can see where you are, have you only got 1 second left, or have you got the full 2 seconds of protection? Don't know. Need to see that. Bipod deployment is now more reliable and works 40 to 50% faster. Now this remains to be seen. I'm skeptical about this. At the moment, if you put a bipod down on a gun, if you put yourself on a windowsill, it's absolutely awesome for people like support. They can defend a position and there's hardly any recoil. It really is quite, you know, killer. But I don't rock a bipod, and most people don't, because in my experience, it gets you killed more times than it actually is useful, because as you sort of scope your gun in, it'll suddenly start deploying a bipod in places you didn't imagine it would. That's being fixed. Igglers and Stingers lock on faster, disable in one hit. The range has been reduced. Skeptical about this. Helis and jets can assault from a long range. They can fire from quite a long range, and what we're saying here is that the Stinger won't be able to lock on them at all. So what counter does the infantry have? If you also pack that with changes to below radar, if the heli just flies low, it'll prevent you from locking onto him at all, and that's only 25 meters, which isn't that low. Any good heli pilot can drop below 25 meters, and then you can't lock on him. So that kind of sounds a bit wrong. Claymores disable jeeps and kill passengers. What? Do we need that? TDM spawns, they've done a lot of work on this. They've moved a lot of spawns around, made some of the play areas bigger. I love TDM. Well, I should love TDM. It's great for quick matches, if you want to try out weapon loadouts, all this kind of thing. But TDM can be bullshit because of the spawning. You can literally have people spawn behind you. You can spawn facing enemies that, you know, either kill you or you kill them. That needs sorting out. So hopefully they've fixed all the annoyances about spawning, but we'll see. Now, changes I don't like. I don't like the fact they're now saying laser-guided missiles can be distracted by flares. This doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me. I can understand heat seekers being distracted by flares, but something that's following a laser-designated target wouldn't seem to be the kind of thing that's going to get put off by a flare. And all a flare is a series of very hot sort of magnesium-type objects that are designed to confuse heat-seeking missiles, because there are multiple sources of heat, so they get very confused by that. Quite how that manages to distract something that is targeting on laser, pulsed laser reflected off the surface of a vehicle, I don't quite understand that. And I actually thought that's what ECM was for anyway. I thought ECM was designed to be the thing that countered, you know, SOFLAMs and CITVs and other laser designations. You know, you pop your ECM, you fly off to a safe position. That's how it works. With this, we're saying if the pilot and the gunner both rock flares, then not only are you sort of, you know, if you imagine this, you've both got flares, you've both got below radar, excuse me, so you can fly below 25 meters and people can't lock their Igglers and Stingers onto you, and then if anybody locks a SOFLAM or a CITV on, you just pop your flare and off you go. That's going to make them fairly untouchable, isn't it? Except against shells and bullets. So I'm not sure I agree with this. In fact, I would actually say I don't agree with that. It doesn't make much sense, and I actually think it's going to make the game a bit imbalanced. But we shall see. They've reduced the locking time for AA missiles. Was that really necessary? Seriously, was that necessary? I don't think that was necessary. Changes I wanted to see, but didn't happen. The orientation of spawns is bullshit, especially when you put down a recon spawn point in a building. You know, why can't you have a control of the direction that you spawn on when you do that? So many times I've spawned and faced a wall. It's just ridiculous. You know, you get the blackout and you face a wall. You don't know where the hell you are and you get shot. I would like them to sorted that out. Repairing transport helicopters, deeply annoying. Maybe the repair tool fix will help that, but you know, I was on a game of Firestorm the other day. I was in a tank with a guided shell. I shot, no word of a lie, I shot a transport helicopter and I disabled it 6 times. And they just repaired all the way through, in between each one. It was absolute nonsense. So I would have liked to have seen them do something about the repairing in transport helicopters. Maybe just made it slower or fewer seats to repair from. I don't know, but it's crazy. I would have liked them to have taken out frag rounds altogether, or just nerfed it to the eyeball so that you never ever want to play with it ever again. They don't serve any purpose in Battlefield as far as I'm concerned. They're just one of those bullshit things. Auto spotting, I would have liked that to have been removed so that people have to physically spot you, you know, press the Q key, press the select button, press the back button, a conscious effort to spot you. But that's not happened either. So that's what I think about the patch notes. We're just waiting for a date now. I really want those changes to come out. So come on, DICE, if you're actually watching this, get that stuff to us. We're all gagging for it. Okay, on to some news before this video ends. It's not far off now. I've begun work on my new series. I mentioned a couple of videos back that I had a new series planned. I was quite excited about it. Unfortunately, the last couple of weeks work has completely overtaken me, and I've not been able to play that much or even make many videos. I think I've only had, well, this is 5 days since the last one, I think, which is well below the target that I aim for. Excuse me. So hopefully now with work over, I'll be able to get some more videos together. But the new series I'm putting together, I'm putting quite a lot of work into it. I'm aiming for a high production quality on this, so it's going to take a bit of time to put together. In between time, I'll put other videos up, but hopefully you're going to like what I'm doing, but we'll see. My Minecraft server is going well. Minecraft is a fun game. If you've never tried it, you probably should. You're more than welcome to come and join my server. I'll leave the server details in the description for the video. You just need to email me or message me, and I'll whitelist you on the server. You can't join unless I whitelist you. That's to stop any douchebags coming in and wrecking what we're trying to do in there. Speaking of which, people are doing some pretty amazing stuff in there. We've got a huge castle perched upon a hill. We've got multiple bedrooms. There's a moat. There's a moat around the castle. Various livestock farms. There's a rock generator, a tree farm, a portal to the nether. There's a massive tree house, a really deep mine, a water elevator where you can just rise up the side of the castle in an elevator. There's a massive water slide. People have built houses and farmyards. It's really cool. I'm going to post some videos of what we've been doing in there soon because you need to see it. It's great fun. Even if you don't like Minecraft, you might be interested to see what's been going on. But if you do like Minecraft, get into the server and help us build. So that's it from me. You're welcome to come and play the Minecraft server. That's pretty much it for me. I don't think I've got anything else I need to say. So without further ado, give me a like if you like the video. Take care and see you soon.